with me is that you can interact amongst yourselves. And because many people are connecting with the chat room via Facebook, I can actually see you. Like when I see Jerica, I'm looking at Jerica's Facebook profile right now. When I look at Tracy's profile, I see Prince. But if she had a photograph of, I could see her. And that's something that sets us a little apart here. We're different. Avery, good morning to you. Writes, good morning. Listening from my daughter's estate just outside of Houston, Texas. Good to have you. What's up, Jared? Mike writes, I don't like sagging, but everyone can dress like that except a black man. Exactly. Thank you, Mike, for backing me up. I see people who sag naturally just because of the way their bodies are made. Okay? Should they be arrested? Surely not. Morning, Wanda. Tracy writes, that's funny to me because you have to be 18 to get into Tri-County Mall. I wonder how old he was. And if he was under 18, where were his parents? Because you definitely cannot walk around the mall unsupervised if you are under the age of 18. And it's been like that for years. Yeah. I remember the days when as a teenager, we used to go to the mall and hang out. We used to go to the mall. We used to go to Tri-County Mall. That was a hangout spot. But it's always some sucker MCs type Gilligans. They're ruining it for everybody else. In there fighting with folks, stealing from folks. Ruining it for everybody else. Tiffany writes, according to the mall, the security guard is suspended with no pay. That's what I read. Now, local media, they talked with Norbert Nadel. And he basically sided, guess what? Surprise, surprise. With a security officer. He's just doing his job. And I mean, like I said, there are some folks that if you're a member of law enforcement or you're a figure of authority, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, they're always going to go with law enforcement. Doesn't matter. And it appears that Mr. Norbert Nadel is one of those individuals. Tiffany writes, I wrote that. Brent writes, good morning. Good morning, Brent. Did the man do anything wrong? Let's be honest here. I like to play both sides of whatever we talk about. So let's look at it from the other side. Officer asks you to pull your pants up. I believe that. The man probably brushed him off, okay? Because brothers do that. You look back at this little dude like, pull my pants up. You come pull my pants up, right? You pull the Draymond Green. You come sit me down. You come pull my pants up, right? And then, probably tried to walk away. And then the officer got caught in his feelings like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Disrespect. Oh, little dude. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you, right? And now he's got to show him. Okay. Perhaps the man in question should have pulled his pants up when he was asked. Just do it the first time. No harm, no foul. Okay. All right. Man, actually pull your pants up, you pull your pants up. Is that sort of like bending over backwards? Are you laying down your manhood? Okay, that's my question for you. Shannon writes, and good morning to you, Shannon. She writes, I was thinking of not shopping there anymore after seeing the video, but one of my friends on Facebook called Tri-County Mall and reported that they hired these security guards from an outside service. They said they weren't going to renew their contract with them and didn't agree with the behavior of the rent-a-cops. I may continue shopping there depending on if that is true. It's a great flow, Shannon, and I'm with you. Okay? If in fact all that's true, okay, and I'm not doubting you at all, Shannon, but if in fact all of that is true and they decide, you know what, maybe this rent-a-cop service isn't doing their due diligence to screen their applicants and now you're putting us at risk and we don't want to work with you anymore, I can respect that. And here's what I don't like about the video. What I don't like is the language that was used. You don't talk to patrons that way. It would have been different if he was a shoplifter. The man's pants were sagging. It's not that big a deal. Okay? Once he pulled his pants up, let him go shop. Let him shop. If I'm Tri-County Mall, I'm a little ticked because this man was going to drop some money with us. And that's why we're here. So he pulled his pants up. Now he's in compliance with our archaic and I think culturally biased dress code. And I think we should challenge that, folks. We should challenge the dress code. Okay? If it's not okay in this country to prevent transgender individuals from going into the bathroom of their choosing, no matter what gender they were born, then it's not okay to stop black guys because they're sagging their pants. That's a cultural thing. That's a fashion thing. Now, it's not my thing. I don't really like it. I don't care for it. If little Buddha comes home with a dude, he knocks on my door and his pants are sagging, oh, man, it's going to be fireworks. They ain't going nowhere that night. I'm telling you that. I hope she's listening. They're not going anywhere together that night. That's not my thing, but this is business. This is business. And, you know, they should have let that man go back to his business, let him spend his money at the mall for his son, and that would have been that. Now, they've got black people in the tri-state area, right, around Tri-County Mall, who are making a decision this morning as to whether if they even want to spend their money at Tri-County Mall anymore. See how something small can become something very, very large? It's ridiculous. John writes, that security guard is trying to make America great again, LOL. Oh, one pants leg at a time, huh? That's funny, John. I'm not trying to mention Trump on this show. I know I just did it, but I'm saying talk about him. Tracy writes, when you just said he was 5'1", I know exactly which security guard you're talking about. And he does have a very cocky personality. I've seen him in that mall before, I'm telling you. A Napoleonic complex. If you couple a Napoleonic complex, and that's a little man's complex, with a little bit of authority, it all, in a lot of cases, I won't say every case because everybody's different, but in a lot of cases, it leads to abuse. It leads to little fellas thinking they more than what they really are. I've seen it before, I'm telling you. It's sad. Hey, Crutha, good to see you. She says, made it. Dale writes, what also pissed me off in that video is when the young man was walking and he turned to an older black male and he asked the man, do you agree with him about him not trespassing? And the black guy didn't even come to his defense. He didn't want to acknowledge the young man. We wonder why these young black males were so-called out of control because they feel we don't step up. Ooh, deep. I didn't go that deep with it, and I've only seen the video like twice, but I recall you to be right. He goes to a sister, an older black woman, and she's actually vocal. I'm telling you, black men in the tri-state area, some of them weak, very weak. I'm not calling that man out because who knows? He could have been shoplifting. Like, man, I got these clothes underneath my, again, I'm not trying to stereotype the brother, but maybe he had a run-in with the law. Maybe he was on parole, or maybe he just didn't want to get involved. Maybe he don't like sagging pants. Maybe he agreed with the officer. But that's an interesting point. What do you think about Daryl's point? It's a very interesting point there. Brent writes, I would own Tri-County Mall. I don't know if they've opened themselves up to any litigation or any civil. I don't know. They didn't put their hands on the man. Had they tried to arrest him or to detain him? And why well, I guess they've got handcuffs in case they get a shoplifter. Okay, I can get that. Keena writes, that young man should have said, I feared for my life. That's what they do. What's up, Nori? Nori writes, when a guy in the video said, you're going to get fired, the cop replies with a laugh. No, I'm not, he does. Super cocky attitude. 5'1". 5'1", about 115 pounds. Super thick glasses. Again, I wear glasses myself, so I'm not dogging on anybody who wears glasses, but I'm just giving you, I want you to have a mental image of this dude if you haven't seen it. Akeem writes, good morning from Zamunda. Damn, Kevin Johnson. I brought that up. I hope it's not true, Mr. Johnson. I really do. I hate to see a man fall. I hate to see a brother fall. And if I had any inside information, I may share it with you. Okay. But I don't. Okay, perhaps some of you do. I will say that I am Facebook friends with Mr. Johnson, and I don't know how long we've been Facebook friends. And I do think he sent me a message. It could have been when I first started the show, asking if he could come on, do an interview, and I replied yes. You know, I'm always like that. It's an open book for people in Cincinnati. I always got love for respect and for folks and support for folks from Cincinnati. I mean, you should love and support the folks from where you live, right? And I believe it was I took it as if he was running for office, but I'm not sure. Okay. If you go to his website, it's fully set up for city council. And I don't know if it was his 2013 run or if they were going to update it and he was going to make a run for city council next year. I do not know. Perhaps some of you know that. And you may know Mr. Johnson personally. I did go to his Facebook page within the last few hours or last night. And, you know, he's got pictures on there with a lot of well-known Cincinnatians, a lot of well-known black Cincinnatians, who I'm sure today they're like, disavow. I ain't got nothing to do with the weight. And it's just a really sad situation. You know, I seen this mug shot. I mean, I hate seeing these brothers with mug shots. I hate to see it. I hope it's not true. I do. If it is true, for his sake and the sake of his family, I hope it's resolved in a manner in which, you know, we don't need another brother locked up forever. We don't need that because we're going to have to pay for it as taxpayers, and it's not going to change the drug trade one bit whatsoever. But if everything that's being reported is true, there's a lot of questions now. A lot of questions like, how long you been doing this? Where did you get it? Where were you going? Is it yours? Number one. That's number one. Is it yours? If it's not yours, did you know it was in the car? I mean, we don't know yet. Just because someone is arrested, and I'm like this across the board. I'm saying I try to be consistent. I was like this with AB. I'm like this with anybody, black, white, whatever. Just because you're arrested doesn't mean you actually did anything. It just means you were arrested. Now we'll have to see how the process plays out. Okay? But again, if you want to chat about it, let's chat about it. Tracy writes, say that, John, because this all boils down to that. That's right. Black man sagging his jeans is looked at completely different than someone else sagging their jeans. And you can go to Tri-County Mall today, and you're going to see some of the most ridiculous fashion choices, fashion faux pas, people wearing stuff that's too big, people wearing stuff that's too small for their body type. I mean, you got to know your body type. Okay, be self-aware. What was different about this man? What was different? Akeem writes, the streets are always watching in my Jay-Z voice. Deanna writes, Nathan, just sent you a screenshot of the response to the video I sent to Tri-County Mall. Got it, Deanna, and I appreciate that. Mike writes, shout out to Deanna, absolutely. Tracy writes, I will follow suit, Deanna, because I live in Forest Park, and that could have been my child. Then she writes, well, my child isn't allowed to sag his pants, but you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, sometimes kids leave the house and they do their own thing. My wife told me that when she was younger, right? And, you know, her mother, there was certain clothes that she couldn't wear. So what did she do? She packed a second outfit. She'd get to school. She changed in the school restroom. Boom, boom, fashionable. And then you got to change before you get back home. A lot of kids did that. Demo writes, on my way to a job interview. I wish you the best, Demo. I'm going to send you some positive vibes. Absolutely, man. Okay, on the music, Mr. Hollywood, I hear you. Akeem writes, cocaine is a hell of a drug in my Rick Dames voice. He's not going to let that go. Tracy writes, that guy should go right back to Tri-County Mall today and return everything that he bought. FG writes, 15 push-ups, ? That's right. My goal is 15 straight push-ups without stopping. And I've gotten to 8. 6 more months. Akeem writes, media definitely won't mention he's a Morehouse grad. Oh, is he? Let me look at the local news here. I don't think that was in local news. Let me see here. Let me double check real quick. I don't think that's in local news that he's a Morehouse grad. I'm looking at WXIX. I'll check the other local news outlets before we get off. See. They do talk to an attorney named Michelle Young, who writes, a private establishment can have a dress code, but it can't have a racist, sexist, or religious bias. I believe this is a culturally biased dress code. It's a racially biased dress code. It applies to everyone on the surface, but it really only applies to the people that's doing it, and most likely that's going to be black males. Now, I'm sure there's some white males from the hood. They dress the same way, but primarily it's going to be black males. You know it, and I know it. You know it, and I know it.